freedoms are being taken. It is time for history to repeat itself and stand. Black Robe Patriots. Your host, Dr. Cindy Flowers and Pastor Ladina Boo.
Good morning.
Can you hear me now? How about now? Can you hear me now, Cindy?
I can hear you. You guys were frozen.
No, we were sitting here talking, but you weren't hearing us. So.
No, what I was seeing Matthew at this other laptop, and the two of you were just like staring, and I'm like, "Good morning."
No. Okay. I'm Ladina Boo from Stockton, Missouri, in case I was frozen a moment ago. And this is my co-host. And
Dr. Cindy Flowers from Waterford, Michigan.
It's kind of crazy up there in Michigan. I keep seeing y'all on the news. Okay. A lot of it's not good, okay? But anyway, we're here to talk about the Fourth Amendment today. And before we get started, since Cindy and I are probably some of the most radical here at Axe Media Group, I do want to mention our disclaimer you saw at the start of the show. Just always remember, any opinion stated are mine and Cindy's alone. It has nothing to do with Axe Ministry because, we could get in trouble for part of the stuff we say, maybe.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Fourth Amendment. And, the Fourth Amendment says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. And I want you to know that, once again, this is an area where our rights are violated on a daily basis.
Yes, they are. So it's like, get a warrant. And it's important that you know your rights when it comes to this, because somebody could come to your door and give you some hokey piece of paper saying,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we have the right to come in here, and it's a hokey piece of paper. It's not even legal whatsoever to try to come in. And you don't have to let anyone in your home
Yeah,
if they
we
want
have.
to come in and search unless they have a warrant.
Yeah, they have all of these no-knock entries into your home if they think you're doing something wrong. Or we could go even further with that when we get to our federal government and the fact that they tend to listen in on our phone calls. They're violating all of our rights by doing that. If they don't have a warrant and you haven't done anything to justify them listening to your conversations and keeping that back so that it will hold you in contempt of the courts or something, because of the fact that you said something on your phone in private to your friend, your mother, your father, or whoever, and they're listening in on your phone calls and taking that information to try to prosecute you for something. They had no right to
Yeah.
listen in the first place. You
No,
know?
they do not. No, they do not. Or um, they listen in through like your computers. They have known to turn your computer cameras on. They have been known to turn on if you had those TVs that the smart TVs. I think, pardon me. I don't know if they still make them or not, but they had some smart TVs that had the camera on them, so you could do the video and stuff. And they would turn you would people had complained. They said they saw that the camera would come on their TV and they were being watched. And Eric Snowden was the one who discovered, hey, we're being spied on, we're being listened to. And he can't even come back to his own country. He has to, he's now a citizen in Russia, because if they brought him back here, they wanted to put him in jail, or they wanted to kill him because of that he exposed that, which started with, I believe, Verizon. Verizon started it. It's none of your business. If we were to tape, this is where the hypocrisy is. In a court case, if you were to record somebody and say, no, listen, they incriminated themselves, they would say, did you let them know that they were being recorded or videotaped? No, I did not. Okay, then we can't use this in court. But they can take what you do and say, oh,
Mhm.
but we have it on tape. We caught you. And it's like, did you have my permission to record me? No, well, you can't use that in court against me. But they do anyway.
Yeah. Well,
It's
you have to check the states on that, though, because in Missouri, I know we can record a telephone conversation without telling the other individual, and you're allowed to do that in a number of states. But bottom line is the federal government, and the government doesn't have that right. Those are individual rights. And we're getting them stepped on, we're getting them stripped out of our own hands, and it's been going on for way too many years, and nobody is suing the government or whatever needs to be done in order to tell them to stop it.
That's right. That's right. I have been watching, I just finished it yesterday. And I don't know if you have seen it. It was a series. It was called America, the Story of Us.
Hmm.
Excellent. If you have not seen this series, it is on Prime Video. Watch it. It's in several different parts, but it takes us right from discovering America all the way through, and the truths of it, not what people have decided to come up with and rewrite and everything else. And the the one thing that stood out to me is that we have lost is when they talked about the tragedies that America has taken on. We've taken some bad hits,
Right.
but we've always come back strong. Always remembering and I can't remember who it was because they had a lot of commentators on there. They said it's just in America's DNA. It's just in our DNA that we come back strong. We're fighters. That's just how we are. And I look at today and I'm like, not today. Not today, we're not. And, what's happened? What's happened with people that they don't even care about their own rights?
Yeah, we have a
You know,
nation that has stood a long time now. We're well over 200 years old, and our founding fathers had in mind what they wanted for this nation based upon what they had previously gone through, because the king could always come in, kick you out of your house, take away your land, take away all your farm animals, and do whatever. We do not have a king. I know the man sitting up there in the White House thinks he is our dictator or king or whatever, but he is not. He was elected. We won't go into elections. Okay. We won't go there, just to save myself a lot of headache later in dealing with people.
Yes,
But, we have to understand that the federal government or any government is not allowed to snoop on your house. They cannot search you physically,
exactly.
without a warrant or anything. You've got to have a reasonable suspicion of something going wrong before you can even get a warrant and go into someone's house and take their property and take their, everything else that they've got dear to them. And, right now, I think they've even stepped over the line because the federal government wants our children. You know, they're our children.
Exactly.
They don't belong to them. This is a privacy matter.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So, with this amendment, the Fourth Amendment, how can we apply the Fourth Amendment as we're talking now as more of an abuse of what it is, um, how it has been attacked and violated, even more so aside from what we've already been discussing, in
Hmm.
areas that we see today. So people can go, wow, I didn't realize that was a violation of my rights. The one that I can say is when you go to the airport and you have to go through security, this is not having to do this is not something that a free person has to do. That's something that
No,
you do when you're being searched and stuff. That's indeed when you have to hit your hands up. That's not this is not a look of a free person. It's not.
no. We look like prisoners a lot of times in our own country because they're like, okay, well, we're going to search your house. We're going to do a no knock warrant and come in your house. They don't even have to tell you they have a warrant. They don't show you anything on those no knock warrants. They just come in your house, they search your house, they may haul you off, they may haul half your possessions off. And
Yep.
until you can, at that point, you've got to hire a lawyer, whether you can afford one or not, just to maintain your own rights. I mean, we can't have this going on in our country.
Yeah.
We,
I
uh,
yep. I saw a woman come in, and that's when I learned, wait a minute, that's they're trying to get your kids and sell them and traffic them. I saw a woman who tried to pretend she was from social services, and she had some men with her, and she showed some frou-frou papers. I don't know where she got them from or whatever, or maybe they have friends of friends that are, they're all mixed up in it, to get that. And the guy was like, "You're not coming in. You're not." And it's like, your children. And she was trying to get the kids. And he's like,
right,
Get out of here. Give me a warrant." Well, we don't have the warrant right now, but this paper should suffice. And it's like, nope, nope, you're not coming into my house unless you have a warrant and a reason why. And you're not having my kids. I've done nothing to, me and my wife are wonderful parents to our kids. They were trying to get the kids, and I think there was one or two successful, but you could see in one of them, the girl was kept going to her cell phone, smoking a cigarette outside and talking on her cell phone and walking around, but she was wearing flip-flops and stuff and trying to say that she worked for the state. That's a huge violation. And they're trying to take your kids right out of your home, telling you they're telling you that they're from uh the state of Michigan, state of wherever they're from the state, and they want to see your kids or they want to take your kids. They had a report, you know.
Yeah, and there's so much that's going on out there that we've got to protect ourselves from. Um, they have no regard for our rights because let's face it, they're trying to turn this into a socialist, Marxist nation instead of our republic, our democratic republic, and so they want to step on whoever they want to step on to get their goal, their agenda in force. Just like trying to tell us all to that we had to have a COVID shot. Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, I never got a COVID shot. I will never have a COVID shot. Um, I think that a lot of that was just a testing ground to see what they can get the American people to fall for. And they were doing things like that to the Jews back in World War II. Okay, they were telling them you had to go to a certain place. You have to live here. We're going to take all of your possessions and we're going to sell them for the German war effort or whatever. And these things we have seen happen all over our world, and we've seen them happen here in our own United States. And the problem I'm seeing right now is the fact that they're doing it more and more frequently.
Yes, yes, they are, and the whoever is our listeners out there, you have got to be aware that there is a reason why, and you think, oh, they're just being easier for us. No, there's a reason why you have school. There's a reason why you have homework. There's a reason why you have to learn the things that you do. You know why? It's for your benefit. Knowledge is power. When you know how to read, when you know how to write in cursive, when you know how to, in whatever learning style you have, but you learn and you learn these things. You learn to read between the lines. You learn how to think critically. And you are an independent thinker. You think for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you become that type of person, you become the enemy of the government, enemy of the state. Why? Because they can't pull anything over you. What did they do? Why are they legalizing or allowing, instead of getting these people off the streets and off of heroin and stuff? What do they do? We're being kind. They gave them a special place to go off the street, and they supply them with clean needles. And you're thinking, well, that's not compassion. You know what that is? They want them to kill themselves because that's one less person they got to take care of. And these people are so doped up, they have no idea of any of their rights being violated. They're so doped up, they don't know what their country is doing to them. They don't know. They come over and say, show up at this place and we're going to give you a jab. They have no idea what that jab is. They have no, and they keep you stupid. Still walk around all day with your face in your phone. That's what they want you to do. More distraction. More distraction. So you're not paying attention to what's really going on. And that's how they want you. Stop being distracted. Stop being stupid. Take the time to learn. Take the time to read. Learn to read. Write. Take it seriously. Don't take the easy way out. Don't let somebody just let you in just for your color, your race, your gender, whatever. Don't do it. Don't do it, because it is their plan. Oh, it looks like they're being kind to you, or they're being special to you, but they're not. They're keeping you dumb. They're keeping you stupid. So you know what? So you won't follow and understand any of these amendments, and they can take advantage.
Well, in our school systems these days, in our public school systems, a lot of times they're not teaching the Constitution and they're not telling the students of their rights. They're not getting that information out there. And if they do, they've twisted it and they've manipulated it to say what the government wants them to say. We need to take our public school systems back and put them under the purview of our individual states like they started out being, instead
Hmm.
of having this national education, whatever they call them up there, that is in Washington, because those people have no idea what we need in our particular areas. And then if you look at the course materials, they have manipulated around. So one of the things that you need to understand is you have a right to go in and see what they're teaching your children. They may not let you take any books out. Most of the stuff your kids do these days are done on a MacBook or a Chromebook or something of that nature. And so you're not seeing what they're teaching these kids. And if you don't know what they're teaching them, then they could be telling them the government has the right to come in the house and do whatever they want. The government has the right to come in the house and take all your guns or take all your notes and remove all the books, come in and take every Bible out of your house, because apparently they're extremely anti-Bible. So, you've got to protect
Exactly.
yourself and your kids from that.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's getting, when they won't let you in to your school and you are the parent of that child and they will not let you in the classroom, they will not let you see the child's curriculum and the books that they're reading. They want to hide it and stuff. And then they say, you don't need to know. That's when you need to know. You need to know what
Yeah.
is what they're teaching your children, and you need to stand up and you need to fight. If you caught my show last Wednesday, I was all about that. You got to fight. You've got to fight, no matter what. No matter what they try to, say or whatever. This is why we are doing this, so that people can learn. And I say this every week, but you have to be reminded so you can learn what your rights are. And you know what? No matter what the administration tries to tell you today, and no matter what these off the wall liberals try to tell you, the Constitution still stands. It
Hmm.
still holds. It's still a foundation, and they are still your rights. And you need to know them because they are being violated one by one, especially, and you can just look at them this today. This, your privacy. Do you know
Yeah.
every time that they do something to try to cause fear, do these false flags and they cause fear, causing you to fear, you give away because you go, oh, make us safe, make us safer. And they're allowed to chip away and start taking more and more and more of your freedoms out of fear. And what did Benjamin Franklin say about that? And he said, if you choose security over freedom, you deserve neither.
Right. And we've got to be secure in our own person, in our own homes. We have that right to privacy. And we know for a fact that our federal government and probably our state governments too, you know, they can sit 5 miles away from your house if you've got a clear line of sight and point a little antenna thing at your house and listen to everything that's said in there. So where is your right to your Fifth Amendment right comes in there? Where's your right not to self-incriminate? And because the government's already recorded everything you said, they're going to pull it out,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
if you don't have an attorney that is versed in the Constitution, then they're not going to know to fight that. They're not going to, fight the recordings where you're sitting there talking bad about your neighbor and your neighbor gets mad and decides to sue you. So then they turn
Yeah,
around and get all the recordings that the government has taken. That's
exactly.
ridiculous.
Exactly. And to follow up, kind of go with, uh, what you've got going right now on your shows, your trials and triumphs, which is just phenomenal. Um, you women, you have the right to your privacy in your school, in a department store, um,
Hmm.
anywhere. You have the right to your privacy. You do not need a man in your bathroom. You
Right.
do not need. And what we're finding is that there are places where they uphold this and allow this, where these guys are just throwing a dress in and all they got to say is, I identify as a woman. Identify
Right.
as a woman. They go in there and peek. They go in there and watch the women, just like in the
They
locker
go
room.
in there and rape. They go in the school restrooms and rape the girls just because they say they identify as a woman. And so, how many rapes have we had over the last few years? Most of them they try to keep quiet. They don't want you to know about them. There's a few that you've heard about them, and that's you have violated that girl's right to privacy in every respect.
Exactly. Exactly. And you can't, I don't want to hear when you go, well, this person has rights. No, no. You see, how it works is in America, if that's what you want to be, you can be that. But how it works is you can't force other people to jump on the bandwagon because that's what you want. I just like, they wanted to get, this may be off topic here a little bit, but it's infringing on the veterinarians' rights. Didn't I? Was it you? I was talking to you about, or I can't remember. I was sent a video where the woman was complaining. No, it was me who found it. Sorry, it was me who found it. uh, David J. Harris. He posted it on Instagram, and it was a mother. It was a mother who was complaining that the doctor would not see her son. Her son was a furry, a cat or a dog, I can't remember, and she took her child to the vet to be checked. And the vet is like, I I can't see your son because the human body and the animal body are different. They're different.
Mhm.
And she wanted to go after the vet. And it's like, what? Come on. Come on.
I
And the
know
mother is supporting this.
we have gone so far out of the realm of common sense in this country that it's no wonder we get our rights violated. We've got to understand what scripture says. God made us male and female. He did not make
Amen.
us
Yes, he did.
cats or dogs or goldfish or whatever we want to call ourselves. And I've been talking with a lot of transgenders or detransitioners actually at this point, about the fact that they finally came to the conclusion that even though the government says that these sex change operations are good and so forth, they finally came to the realization after getting out of all of the mind warping that our colleges do, or what you see on the street every day, that they can't do that. There'll never be a man or a woman um, whenever they have to do physical changes to their body in order to do so. And if you question anybody about their sex or their sexual identity, let's put it that way, um, then you have apparently violated their rights, because if I see a man who's a man, I'm going to call him a man. I mean, I don't care if he is wearing a dress. We've got to get some
Exactly.
common sense.
But yeah, it's a fact. And I mean, I just read an article. about, well, it got sent to me actually. And it was this, you know how they're redoing the Snow White movie, and it's like, what on earth is this? You know, rubbish. And it had the chick that was is playing Snow White said, "Oh, Prince Charming is actually a stalker. This is not a love story." And it's like, girl, watch the movie. Prince Charming saved her. If that's
Yeah,
not a love story, that's how it went. I mean, but uh,
not in the remake.
but she's turning it into let's hate men. Let's hate men, the let hate men bandwagon, and trying to make Snow White some, I don't know. I don't know. And it's like, you know what, Disney? You wonder why you're tanking. You're going to be swimming with the gators if you keep up, you know? You're sinking.
Yeah, they've done something to Walt Disney's legacy that is just really disturbing to me, and then want
Yeah.
to tell us that we're crazy.
Yes. Yes. That's what I mean. And taking these little, you know, step by step, chipping away at our privacy, where there are some people that don't believe that we deserve any privacy. They believe that government has a right to come in and do whatever they want to do, and it's like, you've lost your mind.
Yeah,
This isn't Europe. This is America.
yeah,
And
you know,
as far as I can
we're
remember,
not under
this,
communist rule. You know, we're getting close. Okay, we're getting close to communism in this country, but for them to try to come in and like, I have cows, okay, and the federal government right now would like to get rid of all the cows. Okay, and they talk about the fact that they're causing global warming because they fart. Okay, this is ridiculous. If they were concerned about methane gas, making our planet warm, then they would understand that you're having a bigger issue with your landfills where all that methane gas is produced, and you go out there and you burn it off at the landfills. You see the little stacks up there, they're burning all the methane gas from the landfills and so forth. Come on, put a system up there and catch that methane gas and heat the planet, heat our homes, run our cars, whatever, and stop looking at my cows. Okay. You're not going to take my cows. and they would like to. They
exactly.
want to come in and take my personal property.
Well, exactly, exactly. Cows are good. Trees are good. Plants are good. Growing your own food is good. Do you know when they try to tell you, oh, we have to make these cities, we have to do this? When you take down all the trees and remove all the plants, you'll find that the temperature goes up. But that's why even the animals, they go to where their shade is and it's cooler. The more trees you plant, the more the cooler it is. It cools everything down. And guess what? The more trees that you plant, the more plants that you have, the more oxygen we have, and the more carbon dioxide we breathe out. So it's good for everybody. And I'm sorry, but there's nothing. We've been surviving for almost, going on through almost 300 years. Cow farts have not killed or hurt the environment whatsoever. The same with
Well,
pig
I think it's
farts, whatever.
Ireland Ireland intends to kill all the cows there because of global warming. So it's like, okay, this is crazy. We need the
Yeah,
meat. And lab grown meat is not the same. Okay, lab grown meat is grown from cancer cells of deceased cows. You know, uh, how is that going to be healthy for you? There's nothing they're doing that is trying to preserve our personhood or our right to survive, because they want to kill everything that is good for us. And, Bill Gates has got his plan together to block the sun's rays. He's going to shoot stuff up there. Okay. if you shoot stuff up there in your attempt to lower down global warming, you're going to block the sun, you're going to kill off all the plants, and then we'll all be dead anyway.
Yeah, that's and here's the big kicker that I think people should look at. Okay, those people that are in Congress, that the elitists, the globalists, all of them put their pants on the same way as we all do. They are no different a human being than we are. Who are they that suddenly they think that they should rule over other people? That they should have rule over other people. Who are they? They're nothing but no different than us. You know what that makes them think that? The almighty dollar,
Right.
money.
They want to microchip all of us so that we can get on their world currency bandwagon and everything. And it's like, I'm not going to be microchipped by anybody. I consider that, either the mark of the beast or dadgum close. Okay. And
Exactly.
all of that does is put your entire life on a little chip in your hand or something. And they want it to contain all of your medical records. They want it to contain all your banking records. They want you to use that to go in and buy your groceries at the store. And it's like, oh, I want the latest technology. Look at what they're trying to do. They've got everything of your entire life on here, all your privacy, all your medical records, everything that you would hold dear and not want spread around to every cop or FBI agent or CIA agent or whatever on one little chip, and they can find out everything about you. Okay, I have a microchip in my dog. I don't want one in myself.
Uh, See, the biggest violation of our privacy, put a chip in them. And you know what? Be mindful, because this is what they're going to come up with. They're going to say, oh, this chip will work beautifully for like Alzheimer's patients. So if they wander, you'll be able to keep an eye and you'll be able to find them. Oh, if you chip your children, this is going to help with trafficking, because you will be able, they can't remove it. You'll be able to locate where your children are. And
And
if
so
you
will
have
every
health
pedophile
issues,
around.
okay? Yeah, exactly, exactly. And another one, imagine, I saw this uh, commercial that they put together to, they said maybe this could be used in the future. And they said, imagine they showed this older man walking on the beach, and he had a health alert, and he fell and he was laying down on the beach, and he said, then they took him in. They convinced him, get this chip because we can help you. If we will know all your health records and everything, so we won't have to call around. And just think of the time we could save to help save your life, if with just a chip. And I thought, you know what? They're so shifty. They're
Mhm.
so shifty and shady. That's shady because they're using that, and this is how they're going to get people to get that chip. The people
Right.
that you saw that ran crazy, freaking out, that bought into being bribed. I just saw the commercial, or re-showing of I can't think of what his name was. He was the senator. He's a senator or some of New York, not Schumer. I think it was senator, no, governor or mayor. I think um, and was telling people he's eating a burger and fries, and he was saying, "See, if you see this delicious burger, if you get the COVID shot, tell me when. Never in my life have I ever had so many people bribe me to
Right.
get a shot. But people are bribing you with food, with coffee and donuts, with Walmart cards, and all kinds of gift cards. Why are they bribing you? And then you're seeing what's happened because of it. And
Mhm.
watch, they'll do the same thing with this chip,
Right.
because
They're
they don't want you to have any privacy.
They don't want you to have any privacy. They don't want you to own anything.
Yep.
They want us to be this socialist, Marxist communism. That's the steps, okay? We get people like Ocasio Cortez and them that want this socialist agenda. Our own president wants this socialist agenda where they take everything you own and spread it out to other people. And, you don't own anything at that point. And, if people still maintain a job, then they're going to figure out they're paying for all these people that won't get up off their duffs and go get a job. And so then they're going to quit their job too. And then we'll all be sitting back depending on the government to feed us. And if you've ever seen the
Exactly.
food lines and stuff back in World War II and so forth, where the Germans put all the Jews in concentration camps and moved them into various ghettos and took everything they owned. Uh, Trust me, they were starving to death. Okay. We can't afford to do that, especially in our country. We have got to figure out how to get all of our rights back and stop this invasion of our lives by a government entity.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things. Then if you take the time to read in the Declaration of Independence, and as you follow along in here in your Constitution, is to be left alone.
Yeah,
Leave us alone.
yeah. We have
You know?
rights. We are citizens. We have the right to our own home. We have the right for you not to come in through our television sets and our cell phones and everything. Because trust me, I bet every person out there that owns a cell phone has found the day whenever they're talking with their friends in the privacy of their own home, and then the next day, later on that day, or even during the conversation, these little ads pop up and everything, and they're
Yeah.
about what you were
Yep.
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, there is stuff going on here, and you need to watch what you're saying on your cell phone. Go back to writing letters, okay?
Exactly. 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 That's it too. So, you know, bear in mind this is for you, people. This is your rights. These are your rights to privacy. And anybody who tries to come into your home, they have to show you a legitimate warrant. And if you're wondering what does a legitimate warrant look like, you go down to the police station and ask them, or go to the courthouse and say, what does a warrant look like? A real
Right.
one, so I don't get fooled. So you have that knowledge in your head and you can look at what they're giving you and go, uh this is copied. You got this from a copy. You copied this off the computer. This is not legal.
Yeah.
This isn't
And if they
legal.
try to sell
No.
you one on their phone, no, bring me a paper warrant signed by a judge and outline specifically what you're looking for. And,
Yep.
if you're coming to my house to look for something, tell me what it is on a warrant, and I'll probably just hand it to you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. It has to be original copy,
Hmm.
not a copy of the original. You have the right to ask that. You do not have to have somebody come into your home. And know your rights. Know your rights. This is why it's important that you know how to read, that you know how to write, that you know how to read in cursive, because they don't want you to know your rights and know how much privacies you really have. They don't
Right.
want you to know these things.
No, they want you to think that you are owned by the government and the government's going to tell you everything that's good for you and do everything that's good for you. Well, look at all the people that are regretting getting that COVID shot right now. All the
Oh,
people who have
yes.
died, or the women who cannot get pregnant, or the women who had stillbirths and so forth. Look at a bunch of the other things that they've done to us across this country. And remember, the federal government does not know what's best for you. They
Exactly.
don't know
Amen.
what's they have to say, we have to save ourselves. And if you don't know your constitution, you will not know how to save yourself. Trust in
Amen.
God,
Mhm.
and you know leave the federal government over here where it belongs, or the state government. Leave it over here to the side and trust in the Lord and study to show thyself approved. And that means study
Amen.
everything. So
Amen. Amen.
we have once again run out of time, and we could sit here and talk all day, but they hire bees it will not allow us to do that, unfortunately. So we're going to have to say goodbye today. Thank you again, Cindy. It's always a joy to be with you.
Yeah. Likewise, always a joy to be with you, Pastor Ladina.
Well, we're going to take off now, and we thank you all for joining us. And please come back and join us next week. Now, do you want to tell them when we're on Radio Free America? Do you have that schedule handy?
Yes, I do. 2 minutes here. Um, you can
Best
get
put our eyes on.
you can listen to us on Get Me Radio, the Get Me Radio app, and also on My Tuner app. Get Me Radio app or My Tuner app at your Play Store and look for Radio Free America because that's us. And you can find the Black Robe Patriots on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, and Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time.
Please ask your friends to tune in and listen to us. We also will have this video on our Axe Media Group Facebook page or our AMG Broadcasting YouTube channel. And tomorrow you can also find us on Rumble under Axe Media Group. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
See you later.